the Shroud of Turin. It's this linen cloth that bears the image of a man on the front and back of it. And more specifically, appears to be a man who was brutally beaten. Many believe this was Jesus's burial cloth following the crucifixion. There's been some really interesting scientific experiments on it.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of data and people on both sides of this issue. And this is not something that the church teaches is the burial cloth of Jesus. And as Catholics, you don't have to believe that. But the evidence, I think, is equivocal. It's not clear, right? So they did carbon-14 dating, and it came out to be, the date that they found was like in the Middle Ages, and said, okay, this can't be from the right period. But there's a lot of debate over whether that carbon-14 date was accurate. There's some possibility of contamination of the cloth with mold and bacteria in there, and so forth. And they recently did another dating technique called wide-angle X-ray scattering. So it's called a wax technique, where they basically can sort of try to date the fibers. And they found that from that technique, the date being closer to the time of Christ. Whether that technique is accurate or not is now another big debate. But I think one of the things that fascinates me about it the most is that nobody can really explain how the image was created. There's a lot of different theories of how did you get this negative image of a man onto that cloth in this particular way? And there's a lot of theories, and a lot of researchers have tried to mimic it with paint or with other things, heat and so forth, but none of them really can explain the image. Now, that's not to say it's miraculous or that it's from Christ's burial, and we don't really understand how it was made, nor do we fully understand the dates.